Hello everyone, Scott here from Durham County Library with another video on role-playing with kids. In today's video, I want to show you a little bit more about how I prepare each game, and we'll actually do a bit of a run-through as well. Everything here on the table are some props that we're going to use in the game. So you'll see how we have our adventurers. There's a little robot that'll come into play. These are slime crabs. Down here is the Kraken, and right here is a puzzle we're going to do with the Kraken feeding schedule. This was one of the kids' favorite puzzles we've done in the game, so I want to show that off. Now, it takes, I'd say, other than the brainstorming you'll need to do, if that's kind of scouring the internet for crafts, maybe on Pinterest or other websites you've used, just ideas you might have, I'd say it takes about an hour and a half from start to finish to start sketching out a map and kind of overall direction that the kids are going to be going. And what I have right here is a rough draft of what this game is going to look like. I start the whole brainstorming process by thinking of a setting. So I decided that I want this game to take place in an underwater lab. Next, I have to think of the finale. What is the last event in the game going to be? Why does it make sense for the overall story? And what is a cool way to get all of the characters involved in that event? And then last, the thematic tie-ins. This is where, as you're creating your different rooms, why is it they exist? What do you do in those rooms? And how do you tie together all of those fun craft or coloring activities into part of the overall story? So here are some ideas I was jotting down, and let's take a closer look at a draft I made to be a little more legible for this video. So here's a little bit of a nicer looking map that I sketched out. This is what you as the referee are going to reference for the structure of your adventure. So let's go over those three parts again. Setting. I had the idea that I wanted this to take place in an underwater science lab. So that's kind of going to be the thematic basis of everything I'm doing. The second is the grand finale. So why is this adventure happening, and what's going to be the cool thing that happens at the end? Well, my idea is that the adventurers have to go into this lab because all of the scientists have gone missing after they've been studying a giant kraken. So I started drawing the pieces of the kraken right here. It's going to be kind of the final battle where all of the kids have to interact with this kraken. And then finally, the third part of our game organization, remember the thematic tie-ins. So after doing some brainstorming or finding activities online, how am I going to piece them all together in these different rooms and have them all be tied together in a compelling way to keep moving the story to the final event? So here's what I came up with. The kids, they're going to start here entering the airlock. And when they enter this first room, there are 3 doors they can choose to go through. So in this room, we're calling it the armory. The kids will explore it, and they're going to draw weapons that they find inside. And after they do that craft, you as the referee are going to mention that they continue to explore and find magical rope. My idea is that the kids will all cooperate and use the magical rope to safely tie down the kraken, so that way no other scientists get hurt. If they head up here, here's the science lab. You'll see the note, the kids will draw some equipment, so maybe they'd come up with computers or these weird looking Rube Goldberg machines, who knows. But after they do that, you're going to also mention that there are bubbling beakers in there. And this is where you're going to give kids bubbles if you have it at home, like a bubble wand. So that's actually going to come into play with a puzzle later. Now they're going to keep exploring. Here, there are going to be 3 slime crabs that attack. So once they enter the room, you've already drawn these little slimes, and they're going to come start attacking the kids. Once everything is safe there, they can continue to explore. Here's the technology room. The kids will draw some kind of cool equipment in there. and then you're going to note that there are charged batteries. Now, the batteries are important because when the kids explore the bunks, they will find a robot who has depleted its charge. It's kind of just there resting on one of the beds. And if they put the battery inside of the robot, it will help you kind of move forward through the story, and you can use its voice to give clues about the puzzles if needed. Next, here we have the storage unit, and it has the underwater suits. So for this activity, you're going to have the kids draw their own characters on another sheet of paper in those cool suits. That's going to be important because as they make their way through the final hallway here, they're going to go out into the water, so they would need to be in those suits. Now, before making it through that hallway, I have a puzzle here. It says up here, the locked door it has a video on it. You can describe to the kids that it says the word reveal or show, something like that. And then tons of bubbles play over the screen, and then the word changes to open. And this keeps playing over and over. So the kids are trying to figure out, what does that mean? And if you think about it, and in case the robot needs to help, it means that if you show bubbles, and remember, you gave the kids bubbles to play with over here, and they can blow them themselves. The kids will blow off bubbles from the wand against the screen. The door will open. And as you walk down here in your underwater suits, it reveals this strange craggy rock area underwater with a deep pit. This is where the Kraken lives. And there is an altar here, and it says, in order to summon the Kraken, you have to feed it. So that ties in with the very last puzzle. The kids love doing this one. You're going to have on a refrigerator a feeding schedule, so you can jot down different foods for every day of the week. And the kids who are playing are going to have to think, what day is it? So right now, I'm recording this on a Wednesday, so the kids are going to want to think about that. And when they are ready to summon the Kraken, they would have to be feeding the Kraken spaghetti. And a fun thing you could do as the caregiver is, if you have the ingredients available, you could tie this in with what you're eating for dinner that night. All right, so let's do a sample run through of this adventure. We're going to pretend the kids are playing a battle goose and a witch. So you want to help the kids starting to get into the minds of these characters. Why did you come up with these characters? Who are they? Do they know each other? Have they been on adventures before? What's the coolest thing they've ever done together? You can ask the kids where their hideout is, their HQ, and explain that they just learned about an important mission at an underwater lab. Time to go explore.